Have you ever felt like you were standing at an important crossroads in life? That moment when you must choose between preserving your self-respect and forgiving an act of betrayal. I understand that this is a difficult decision, but I believe there are boundaries we should never cross. We often hear that forgiveness leads to peace, and that letting go of resentment will lighten our hearts. However, some betrayals are not mere mistakes or human errors. On the contrary, they are deliberate choices, calculated decisions made to deceive, hurt, and shatter someone's trust. Those who betray you do not act out of carelessness. They choose to do so fully aware of the consequences. Some wounds do not need to heal, because forgiveness is not always the answer. Society may teach you that compassion is a sign of maturity, but sometimes the wisest decision is not to mend what is broken, but to know when to walk away. Keeping those who have betrayed you in your life is not an act of kindness. It is an act of self-inflicted pain. Tonight, I will share 7 types of betrayal you should never forgive. Not because you are bitter or seek revenge, but because your peace, self-respect, and inner serenity depend on it. Don't miss any of them, because you may find the courage to let go of those who do not deserve your forgiveness after listening. And most importantly, you will rediscover yourself. 1. Those who disappear when you need them most. Genuine love does not fade when life gets tough or vanish, simply because it is no longer convenient. Someone who truly cares for you will not only stand by your side when things are going well, but will also be there to hold your hand when the storm hits. Unfortunately, at some point in life, we all encounter people who walk with us when we shine, but quietly disappear when we need them the most. Some friends appear during your happiest days, sharing laughter and celebrating your brightest moments. They cheer for you when you succeed, but the moment you stumble, they fall silent. Or worse, they disappear as if they were never there. They cannot face your tears, lack the patience to listen to your pain, and have no desire to spend time helping you get back on your feet. Then, some lovers once swore they would love you forever, but their promises seem to hold value only when everything goes smoothly. When life tests you, and you need someone to lean on, they create distance. They don't want to face your vulnerability, nor do they want to deal with any inconvenience. They love you when you shine, but don't have the courage to love you when you're hurting. People like that don't truly love you. They love the convenience you bring. They stay by your side not because they cherish you, but because you provide them with comfort, support, or something beneficial. But when you need a shoulder to lean on, when you're lost in your darkest days, they choose to turn away. And if someone can walk away from you at your weakest, they do not deserve to be there when you are at your strongest. Life is too short to hold on to those who only stay when it's easy and disappear when it gets hard. You don't need half-hearted companions, those who are only present when they can gain something from you. Instead, cherish those who stay, who love you, not because you are perfect, but because they truly care about you, whether in the brilliance of sunshine or amidst the fiercest storms of life. 2. When they stay with you only for their benefit. Have you ever noticed that some people only show up when things are going well, but disappear when you truly need them? They might be friends who laugh with you during happy days, yet when you face difficulties, they suddenly become too busy, silent, or vanish without a trace. They might be lovers who once promised to always be there, but when you are hurting, they choose to avoid you instead of staying to help you through the pain. They could even be family members who only reach out when they need something from you, but never truly care about your feelings or struggles. People like this do not genuinely love you. They only love what you can offer them. They cherish the comfort you bring and enjoy the support and sacrifices you make for them, but they do not value you as a person. To them, relationships are not built on sincerity, but rather on temporary exchanges, where they take all you give without feeling the need to reciprocate with gratitude or honesty. You can recognize them by how they treat you. When you are happy, strong, and able to give, they are always around, sharing in your joy, basking in your kindness. But when you are struggling and need a helping hand, they begin to distance themselves. They become busy, make excuses, and slowly drift away as if they never mattered. Then, when the storm in your life has passed and you regain stability, they suddenly return, acting as if nothing ever happened. But true love does not disappear just because circumstances change. Loyalty is not something that only exists when life is easy. It is proven in the hardest times. Someone who truly cares for you will not abandon you when you are at your weakest, will not make excuses to avoid you when you need them the most, and will not turn their back on you when things get complicated. The right people will stay, not because they feel obligated to, but because they genuinely treasure you. They will celebrate your happiest moments with you, but they will also be there to hold your hand when life becomes harsh. They will not leave just because you have nothing to offer, but because your presence alone matters to them. And only someone like that deserves to stay in your life, not those who appear when it's convenient and disappear the moment you need them the most. 3. Don't mistake regret for true remorse. When caught deceiving you, some people appear regretful, but their remorse isn't genuine. It's not a sincere realization of their wrongdoing. It's merely disappointment that they got caught. They don't feel guilty for hurting you. They only regret that their actions can no longer be hidden. A truly remorseful person wouldn't wait for you to uncover the truth. They would take responsibility from the start, acknowledge their mistakes, and try to right their wrongs. But ask yourself, how many people do that? Almost none. Most will hide, cover up, or justify their actions until they are exposed. Only then do they rush to apologize. If someone has betrayed you and later returns with heartfelt apologies, begging for a second chance, take a moment to reflect. Is their regret driven by a genuine awakening of conscience, a true desire to make things right? Or is it simply fear of losing the benefits, comfort, or care you once provided them? Regret is not the same as true repentance. Some people don't change because they want to be better. They change because they don't want to lose the convenience, attention, or privileges they once had with you. They might swear they have learned from their mistakes and will never do it again. But can their words really be trusted? After all, these are the same people who once looked into your eyes, told you they cared, and still went on to hurt you. Forgiveness is a choice. You have every right to decide whether to offer it. But remember, compassion should never lead you back into the same pain. If your forgiveness only makes you more vulnerable and gives someone another chance to hurt you, then perhaps you need not forgive. But let go and walk away, protecting yourself from those who never truly valued you. 4. Manipulation, the trap that makes you lose yourself. Some people constantly test your boundaries, not to improve themselves, but to see how far they can push you while you still accept them. They don't care how you feel. They only care about controlling you on their terms. At first, their actions may seem minor, almost harmless, but over time, they begin planting seeds of doubt in your mind. Doubt about yourself. When you express your hurt, they scoff and tell you overreact. When you sense that something is wrong, they claim you're being too sensitive. When you start seeing the truth, they twist reality, making you believe it's all in your imagination. They distort facts until you slowly lose trust in your perceptions. This is how real control works. It doesn't need orders or violence. It only requires enough manipulation to make you willingly surrender control. And when that happens, you are no longer yourself. You become someone who lives within the limits they set, believing the version of reality they want you to believe. Manipulators do not seek understanding, nor do they care about reconciliation. They don't want to resolve issues or build a relationship based on mutual respect. The only thing they care about is maintaining power over you, to keep you doubting yourself, to make you believe every mistake is your fault, and to ensure you become increasingly dependent on them. They don't need to yell or make open threats. Their manipulation is subtle, hidden behind seemingly harmless words that gradually strip away your confidence. They make you question what you see, feel, and even your sense of right and wrong. When you voice your pain, they turn the situation around, making you seem unreasonable. When you try to defend yourself, they make you feel guilty for making a big deal out of things. And when you recognize the injustice, they use silence or empty promises to pull you back into their cycle. Once you give in to their manipulation, even just once, they will continue doing it over and over again. Because they know you fear losing the relationship, that you crave understanding, that you are compassionate, and that you don't want to hurt others. And they will exploit exactly that to keep you under their control. You might believe that forgiveness is an act of virtue, that it shows compassion and can help people change. But the truth is, not everyone deserves forgiveness. Forgiveness is meaningless if it becomes a free pass for manipulators to keep hurting you. It is neither an obligation nor a way to salvage a toxic relationship. What you truly need is not to keep forgiving and hoping they will change. You need to find yourself again, to trust what your heart and mind are telling you, and to walk away before they have another chance to manipulate you. Because someone who truly loves you will never seek to control you. They will cherish you, respect your emotions, and never make you doubt your worth. 5. Disrespect. When your worth is denied. There is a form of disrespect more dangerous than shouting or outright insults. It is silent, hidden behind forced smiles, thoughtless jokes, or indifferent shrugs. It is not loud, nor is it obvious, yet it slowly erodes your self-worth, piece by piece. You may have experienced this before, when you open up and share your pain, but instead of listening, they dismiss your feelings with a smirk. When you express your emotions, they roll their eyes, make sarcastic remarks, or tell you you are overreacting. They don't need to raise their voice to hurt you, because their indifference alone is enough to make you feel insignificant. This isn't just a lack of respect. It is a calculated dismissal of your worth, subtle yet incredibly destructive. When someone repeatedly belittles your emotions, thoughts, and the things you share, they send you a message that your feelings don't matter, that you are not worthy of being heard, and that your presence in the relationship only holds value when it serves them. At first, you might think it's just a careless mistake, a moment of insensitivity. But if you don't set boundaries, this disregard will accumulate, repeating repeatedly like a stain that keeps spreading. It is like rust eating away at metal, slow but inevitable until nothing remains intact. Over time, you may start doubting yourself, wondering if your feelings truly matter, or if the hurt you are experiencing is just an exaggeration, as they claim. And one day, you may forget that you deserve respect, have the right to speak up, and should not have to fight for what should be naturally given. But always remember this: respect is not something you should have to beg for. It is not a privilege granted when someone decides you are worthy, nor is it a reward you must earn by changing yourself to meet their expectations. Respect is the foundation of any relationship, friendship, love, or family. A relationship without respect is like a building without a foundation. It will inevitably collapse, and you will be the one left to hurt the most. If someone repeatedly disrespects you, do not deceive yourself into believing that they don't mean it or are simply unaware of how they are hurting you. Do not convince yourself that they will understand and change if you are more patient, more forgiving, or if you explain yourself more clearly. Because the truth is, Those who genuinely respect you will never make you fight for that respect. They will never make you feel like you must prove your worth or endure mistreatment just to be treated decently. Respect cannot be taught or forced. If someone needs you to explain how to respect you, then they never truly valued you in the first place. Those who truly appreciate you don't need reminders to treat you well. They don't wait for you to ask before they listen, and they don't need to see you suffer before recognizing your boundaries. To them, respect is instinctive. It is not negotiable, nor is it something they grant at their convenience. You cannot change someone's nature. You cannot force someone to respect you if they never intended to. But you can walk away rather than stay and hope their lack of respect will somehow disappear. Because the moment you have to fight for respect, it is no longer respect. 6. Lies. The collapse of trust. Trust is fragile. It takes years to build, but only a moment to shatter. And sometimes, even when given a chance to mend, the cracks remain. Silent, persistent, making it impossible for things to be the same again. When someone lies to you, it is not an accident or a momentary lapse in judgment. It is a deliberate decision to hide the truth, manipulate trust, and ultimately cause harm. Lying is not just a mistake. It is a betrayal, a fracture at the very foundation of any relationship. And if the lies are not a one-time occurrence but a pattern, then the relationship is no longer merely damaged. It is beyond repair. Society often tells us that everyone deserves a second chance, that a lie can be forgiven as long as the liar shows remorse. But ask yourself, how many liars truly change? How many have looked into your eyes, sworn they would never repeat their mistakes, only to betray you again? Words are easy to say, but actions define a person. And sometimes, deception does not even need to be spoken. It hides in silence. The truths they choose not to tell, the stories they subtly alter, and the details they deliberately leave out. You can sense it in how they avoid your gaze and how their narrative slightly shifts each time they retell it. But you ignore these signs because you want to believe. You want to trust that they are honest and that there is a reasonable explanation for everything. But trust cannot be built on hope alone. It must be built on certainty. A truly remorseful person will not wait to be caught. They will admit their mistakes willingly because they value the relationship more than they value maintaining a lie. But does that happen often? Hardly ever. This is why the betrayal of repeated lies is not just about the falsehoods themselves. It is about what they take from you, your sense of security, confidence in yourself, and ability to trust others again. And sometimes the right choice is not to forgive, but to walk away, because once trust is lost, no apology can fully restore it. 7. The cycle of betrayal. When regret never exists. If someone disrespects you once, and you easily forgive them, what they learn is not a lesson in appreciation, but that they can continue disregarding you without consequences. If they betray you and you give them another chance, they don't see it as a mistake to correct. They see it as proof that they can repeat their behavior without losing anything. And if they keep hurting you, yet you still believe that one day they will change, the only thing they truly learn is that you are willing to endure endless pain just to hold on to an illusion of love. But there is something far stronger than forgiveness. It is knowing when to stop and walk away. Walking away is not an act of weakness. It is not a sign of bitterness or resentment. It is survival, the choice of someone who understands they deserve better. A real relationship should not be an endless cycle of suffering. Love should not be prolonged pain, meaningless sacrifice, or something you have to prove by accepting hurt repeatedly. If someone can turn their back on you when you need them the most, they do not love you if they repeat their betrayal without ever truly repenting. They only love what you provide them, whether it's unconditional acceptance, limitless forgiveness, or sacrifices, they never return. And sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is not to forgive one more time, but to leave, before betrayal becomes something you are forced to live with for a lifetime. Life is too short to waste on those who betray you, on those who take advantage of your trust and emotions without valuing them. You do not owe them forgiveness. You are not obligated to endure pain just because someone expects your tolerance. Forgiveness is not mandatory. It is a privilege, a gift that should only be given to those who truly regret their actions and deserve a second chance. Those who genuinely recognize their mistakes and want to make amends will not just say they are sorry. They will prove through their actions that they value your trust. They will change. They will correct their wrongs, and they will never repeat their mistakes. But what about those who continue to lie, to disrespect, to manipulate you with sweet words, and to betray you time and time again? They are not remorseful. They only regret getting caught. They do not change. They only become better at hiding their betrayal. So don't waste your time forgiving those who are unworthy. Don't deceive yourself into believing they will change. Don't let your kindness become an opportunity for them to keep hurting you. Those who do not appreciate you do not deserve a place in your life. Never forgive those who repeat their mistakes. Never forget the lessons you paid the price to learn. And most importantly, never look back. This is your life, your future, your happiness. Protect it. Respect yourself enough to walk away from those who bring you nothing but pain. And remember, sometimes the best response to betrayal is not forgiveness, but walking away and never turning back.